Hey moms and dads, in this video I want to share with you if your child has a sensory issue, why they can benefit from more frequent breaks throughout the day. Now, if your child has a sensory issue, it's more likely their brain can get overwhelmed by all the sensory input they have, and you might find them having more meltdowns, more tantrums, being anxious or nervous more often than other kids. Now, I just got back from a kiteboarding trip in North Carolina with my wife about a week ago, and actually learned a lesson about sensory input from this kiteboarding trip, and I wanted to share with you. Here today I'm actually at White Bear Lake, so if the audio sounds a little bit different, it's because it's a really windy day, and I just got done with a kiteboarding session myself today, but I thought it reminded me of the lesson I learned last week. So during kiteboarding, if you don't know what it is, you strap a big kite, this is the kite that I just got finished with, onto your waist. There's a special harness you wear, and you tie it on. See if I can show you. This guy's coming in right there. You can see that kite flying in the background, and basically as the kite's flying through the air, it's pulling you around on a board. You can see there the board that I just got done riding. But the thing with kiteboarding is it's a ton of sensory input for your brain, because the kite is pulling on your waist, it's flying around, you're trying to manage the board on the water, the wind's blowing in your ears, a ton of sensory input that can easily wear your brain down. Now, the thing with our brains is they can handle so much sensory input before they need a break. That's why you might get to the end of your day, and not only are you physically tired, but you're mentally tired because your brain had to process the whole day. And normally, when we sleep at night, our brain gets a huge rest and recovers for the next day. Now, when I was on this kiteboarding trip, I was going strong. There's a certain move I was trying to land. It's called the back roll, where you jump up, you spin around, you land, and you try to keep going. And I was trying this move for an hour, hour and a half, and what I found is that I was getting physically tired, but more than that, I didn't even realize it, but my brain was getting mentally tired from all that new sensory input because it was kind of a new move for me. So I go to shore, I sit down, I take a break, and half an hour goes by. When I'm taking my break, now I'm completely resting. I'm sitting still, I'm shutting my eyes, I'm relaxing. I'm really minimizing my sensory input into my brain at that time. Now the crazy thing was, I go back out, and this move I'd been struggling with, all of a sudden I jump, I spin around, boom, I land it, and I take off. I thought, whoa! After doing it 50 times in a row, not landing it, all of a sudden I did it the first try, and what I realized is I was able to do it because my brain had a break, and it was able to integrate all that sensory input. You might have experienced this before yourself. If you remember back to school and you were preparing for a big speech that you're trying to memorize and you're going over and over and over again, or you had maybe in band class you were practicing for something and playing it over and over again, you couldn't quite get it until you slept, and all of a sudden the next day you woke up and it just clicked. The reason this happened is when you slept at night, your brain was able to integrate all that sensory input. Now for you and I, we might be able to go a full day and do okay. However, if your child has a sensory issue, they might need more of these mini breaks throughout the day, almost like going to bed at night and sleeping. So what I recommend is doing a mini break where you're really like sensory depriving your child. No screens, no iPads, no phones, no loud music. Maybe have in a dark, quiet room. They shut their eyes, they rest, they minimize sensory input. Even for a few minutes can help their brain recharge to go back and get back to school or homework or sports or whatever it is you're trying to do with them throughout the day. So hopefully that's helpful, and know that if your child has a sensory issue, it's okay for them to take more breaks during the day because it gives their brain a little downtime to integrate what they're practicing. Whether it's kiteboarding or whether it's something else, it's going to help your child out. So reach out if you have any questions, and I'll talk to you all soon.